My name is Dr. Brian Sammons. Welcome to English 102, Composition and Rhetoric 2. I thought that it would be a good idea for me as a way of introduction to class to answer some frequently asked questions, some FAQs, and I made a little list here. I'm going to be going over them. The first thing that people often wonder is what is rhetoric? I get that one quite a bit. Rhetoric is the art of using language effectively. That's all it really is. I know that frequently in the media you will hear the word used in a pejorative context, but it's not really a bad thing. It's simply studying how to use language effectively for argumentation purposes, also for inquiry and analysis. This class is the second in a two-course sequence, and they're the fundamental writing courses at the college level. And it's a little bit of a platypus, is what I call it, because it's also a little bit of an introduction to literature class. The reason for that is we want to have something to focus upon. We want to use literature as a lens to focus our writing, give us something to look at, and also just because I think it's beneficial for people to study literature, and so it's a good way to accomplish both things. But it is a writing class. I know that maybe some of the materials you're seeing so far might make you think, wait a second, I didn't sign up for a literature class. We are going to be doing a great deal of writing. So we're going to be learning how to use language effectively. We're going to be studying rhetoric. We're also going to be learning a lot about poetry and short fiction. Another question that I often get is how do I access the materials? There are two answers to that, two aspects. One, in terms of online, when you get on the Canvas site, you will be able to find all the materials you will need to perform assignments under course content. So if you click on that, and what you will see when you do that, you'll see modules. The modules are set up on a kind of weekly basis. Don't panic if you get on there and you only see one module right now. That's because we're just into the first week. I don't want to post the modules too far ahead of time because I like to discourage people from getting too far ahead. Because it's an online class, of course, we don't really have daily attendance in that sense. It's more the concept of what do we want to accomplish this week, and each module corresponds to a particular week. And I will try to put the modules up once we get going, perhaps 2 weeks in advance. As far as materials in the book, you'll notice that when I list the readings, if you look at the syllabus, you'll see all the readings that we're going to be doing over the course of the 8 weeks, and you won't find page numbers, and there's a reason for that. The reason is the book that we're using comes in a lot of different editions and a lot of different formats. You can get an online version. The most current edition is the 13th, but the 12th is still out there and might be more cost efficient for you to purchase. And so, but the page numbers for the materials change from edition to edition. Don't panic about that either. I get that question a lot. People are like, well, how do I find these poems and short stories? There's an index in the back of all the editions of the book, and you can look the poems and the short stories up by either the title of the work or the poet or author alphabetically, and it will tell you where to find that. Another question I sometimes get is, do I need the book? Yes, you do, and I think that's particularly important in a class like this where we are going to be doing a lot of reading. Yes, it's true. You would be able to find some of these materials widely available online by Googling them and whatnot, but they're not all under public domain. So you wouldn't be able to find all of them, and you may not find the particular edition of the short story or poem that we'll be utilizing, and that matters. There are various forms because poets and authors often revise their works, and the one that you might get might not be the one that is the authoritative edition that we're making reference to and studying. So it's just a good idea to get the book. Sometimes the guided responses that form our weekly assignments will make reference to specific questions in the book as well. And of course, if you don't have the book, you won't know what I'm talking about. You won't know what those questions are. Another question I sometimes get is, how hard is this class and can I get an A? I don't think it's hard, but of course I wouldn't, right? I think that this class is no different than any other. If you keep up with the reading and you do the guided responses and you ask questions when necessary, and you just basically do the work, it's not challenging at all. I would say by comparison, it's a lot more intimidating to take recombinant genetics or advanced chemistry or something like that. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that would keep me up at night. This is nothing like that. It's just a writing class, and if you're persistent with it and you try to honor the procedures, it's not hard at all. Yes, you can get an A, but you won't be given an A. Right? I mean, you're going to have to earn it. Finally, I would say a question that I get, which is a good one, because it's an online class, I sometimes myself worry that communication might be breaking down. Probably that's just a control issue on my part, but I'm a lot more comfortable in some respects having students right in front of me all the time so we can have a dialogue. Creating these podcasts is an attempt to kind of bridge that gap, but you can bridge the gap as well. You can bridge the gap by coming by during office hours. My office hours are posted on the Canvas site, and I encourage you to take advantage of them. You can also correspond with me via email, but of course that is sometimes tedious for both of us because it's a lot easier sometimes to just answer a question and follow-up questions right on the spot. But I'm more than happy to answer emails. The number one thing is I encourage you to ask questions if you have them. That's why I'm here, is to try to help. So, thank you.